What is the status of tests in the country at the moment?
I think there are two parts to your question, even before the third substantive question that I'd like to tackle. First of all, the caution that government should be careful is very good caution. It is absolutely a good caution. Not just government, but all of us need to be careful. We have been making the point that despite the fact that our active case count is generally coming down from about 7,000 to 3,000 now to about 1,000, 6,000, 8, I think this morning about 1,900. Generally, the curve has been coming down. If you look at the R0 curve, that is the rate of infection, the proper rate of infection, that is now down to about 0.5, which means that it takes 2 positive persons to create another positive person. So you need 2 0.5s to create 1 new positive infection at 1.0.
I see.
That has also come down because we are cutting through the rate of infection. If you take the 7-day moving average curve, which measures the average number of persons who are testing positive on a daily basis, that has also come down. So if you allow that to give you a false sense of security and a false sense of hope that we're out of the woods, the problem is solved, COVID is over, then you'll be deceiving yourself. Especially at a time when government is gradually easing restrictions and is asking that we open up but be careful. So government has to be careful. All of us have to be careful as well and not get into a false sense of security. And that's why we are continuously reminding ourselves that don't take it for granted. If you watch the president's address, he said, don't take it for granted. You have to observe the preventive etiquette so that we protect ourselves. So as a first step, that caution is absolutely correct. And we don't have any qualms with that. It's not just for government, it's for all of us. However, it is not true that we have stopped testing. What is true is that the numbers of tests that are being done today are not the same as before because the number of positive cases have come down. Who do we test? We test what we call at-risk populations. Who are the at-risk populations? These are mostly the contacts of persons who have tested positive and persons who have symptoms that they want to have tested. So at a time when you have 10,000 positive cases, even if every one of them has 10 contacts, the test you'll be conducting will be what? About 100,000. Because that'll be 10 multiplied by 10,000. But when your active cases now drop to 1,900 and you do contact tracing even for 10 persons per positive case, that number drops. In effect, therefore, the number you'll be testing will be lower than the 100,000 you were testing at first. So we have not stopped testing. We have not deliberately refused to lower testing standards. But what is happening is that because the active cases are now so low, if there are only 4 active cases and each one of them has 10 contacts, that's 40 people you are testing. If there are 10 active cases and each of them has 10 contacts, then you are testing 100 people. So the first point is true, we all have to be careful. But the second point is not true, that we have deliberately stopped testing or have reduced testing. The testing numbers are dictated by the number of positive cases. And it is because of where we are today that you will see the numbers that are being tested. But backlogs have been cleared. We have the ability to do some more. In fact, now we are rolling out a system that can do tests within 15 minutes at the airports so that we can open the airports by the 1st of September. So it's absolutely incorrect that we are deliberately either fudging with the figures or lowering testing standards or numbers.